Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a 2018 Range Rover. This vehicle came from an auction. The owner bought this vehicle. He said it was running and then the battery died, and after that it became a crank no start. So they dropped it off here, the tow truck dropped it off here. So now we're gonna do some tests to figure out why this Range Rover is not starting anymore. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get a jump pack to this. It looks like the battery is completely dead right now, and then we'll do some tests. Hopefully we can figure out why this Range Rover is not starting. Behind the camera, we have our famous cameraman, Matt. Matt, thanks for being here. So I'm gonna open the hood first. Supercharge. Actually, we have another Range Rover here that has the same exact engine. Actually, it looks like this mass airflow sensor here is disconnected. This mass airflow sensor here is disconnected. Okay, so I'm going to, let me see if I can, is the trunk open? Let me see if I can open the trunk because the battery is in the trunk. Okay, I'm gonna put this jump back over here. Let's see if this is gonna help. No, there. Cool, so this was the right fob. We have a couple Range Rovers here, so I was wondering if this is the right one. So now let me try to crank it. This is a nice car, Matt. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. It sounds like the timing is off on this one. Okay, let me crank it again. I hope you can hear this. Sounds like we have some dead cylinders here. Okay, I'm gonna get the scan tool connected. Let's scan it and see if we have some codes in the engine computer. Okay, let's see. Let's do a code scan. What? In S6, S9. Contact scan module is needed to communicate with this vehicle. Please see your sales rep. What? Compact scan module is needed to communicate with this vehicle.
Yeah, it might be because the VIN. Remember, he looked up the VIN and he couldn't find the VIN
Of this vehicle?
Yeah.
The owner of this vehicle told me he bought it. He got it from the auction. Let me change scan tools.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah. That's odd. That is really odd. Okay.
Have you used that on a Range Rover before?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
Let me see if I can go on the generic side. Let me try to do OBD2. So it wasn't reading on the OE side. Let's see if it's gonna read on the generic side. It looks like it's gonna read on the generic side. Display trouble codes. No codes on the generic side. That's odd. Now, the battery was dead, so we're probably not gonna have any codes here. It looks like we have a compression problem on this engine. Based on how it sounds, let me see if we have a fuel pressure data pid here. Fuel rail, okay. Let me see. Because for an engine to run, we need good fuel supply to the cylinders and good compression in the cylinders, and we also need good spark in the cylinders. So if you don't have spark or fuel or compression, your car is not going to start. So on the generic side of the scan tool, I can read the data PIDs. So I'm going to grab my fuel rail pressure data PID. That's all I want to look at. I want to make sure that there is enough fuel going to the fuel rail. So we're going to graph this data PID. Okay, so right now we have about, I don't know if this is accurate. We have about 3,000 PSI on the rail, which is all right. I'm gonna crank it. So as I'm cranking it, the maximum PSI we had on the rail was 3,400, 3,445. Let me crank it again. What's that?
You can hear it. It's not. Doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right, right? Yeah, yeah. The cadence doesn't sound. Does not sound. Doesn't sound consistent. So let's back out. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. I'm gonna grab my lab scope test leads. We're gonna go to the battery and do a relative compression test at the battery. Let's see what we're gonna find, and then we'll go from there. I might get to switch scan tools. I'm gonna grab my lab scope test leads, and then I'll bring you guys back up. We're back under the hood. I'm gonna take the cover out of here. So we have Gavin in the car. He's gonna crank it for us. You hear that? All right, okay. Do it again. Okay, okay, hold on. Let me grab my lab scope test leads. Let's get to the battery and do some tests at the battery. It looks like the battery is getting weak too. We are back here in the trunk. So I'm going to connect my test leads to the battery. Here's the battery. So we're gonna connect the yellow to battery positive and then black to battery negative. We're gonna do a relative compression test. This battery is starting to get weak. So does it have two batteries? What's this? Oh, this is the compressor for the suspension system. Okay, crank it, Gavin. Okay, hold on. Nice. Man, this battery is getting so weak. Crank it. Okay. Yeah, look at this, guys. We have a compression problem on this engine. Yeah, look at this. This cylinder over here. Yeah, and this is most likely a mechanical problem. We have one low cylinder. Now, some of you might say, why isn't it starting? Because even if you have a low cylinder, it should still start, right? Yes, you will be right. So now, what other test should we do? First of all, we need to figure out what cylinder this is. Because we have one cylinder that's low. So we have it here, we also have it here. So one cylinder has low compression. You can see it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it repeats. So there's definitely a pattern here. And then this guy. Okay, so although the battery is getting weak, one thing we know right now is we have one cylinder that has low compression. And then the next thing I want to do is we probably have to charge this battery a little bit and then scan it again to see if our Autel scan tool will be able to read the engine computer. Hopefully we'll see what kind of codes we have there, but we'll go from there. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove this battery, we're gonna charge it, and then I'll bring you guys back up so we can do some more tests, and then we should be done. Because at this point, we need to figure out exactly what's going on. Is it a valve issue? Is it a timing issue? I mean, if it's a timing issue, it's gonna affect more cylinders, not just one. So I'm gonna get the battery charged and then I'll bring you back up. I ended up changing the battery. I had a good battery here in the shop. I put a new battery on this vehicle so we can redo our test. I used long test leads at the battery. So as you can see, I'm connected at the battery. So now let's go under the hood so we can do some tests. I wanna do my relative compression test again. I'm gonna sync it with the first ignition coil on the driver's side so we can figure out what cylinder has low compression. So now let's go under the hood. Okay, before I set up my lab scope, this first test lead is coming from the battery, and then the second one, I'm back probing the control wire on the first coil over here on the driver's side bank. Let's go to our lab scope. Okay, so you guys will see this. First trace is connected to the battery. We have battery voltage on the first one. So we're gonna AC couple the first trace. We're gonna drop it down to about 1 volt. We're gonna invert it. We have Steve in the vehicle. Steve is going to crank it for us. So There is Steve. So go ahead and crank it for us, Steve. Okay, good. So right there. Yeah, so it's this one cylinder here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a V6, tiny little 6-cylinder. So now the coil is being controlled, so that's good. Can you turn the key on? So let me make sure the coil is getting power. This is a 3-wire coil. So we have power at the coil. So I'm gonna turn off, actually, I'm gonna turn off the first trace. Is the key on? So we have ground at the coil. So we are back probing the ground wire right now. So right there, Matt, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm back probing the black wire right there. So that's the ground wire. So now I'm gonna back probe the other wire next to it. That should be the power wire. Let me back probe it. So I hope you can see right there. I moved it to the light blue wire right there. And we have system voltage on the lab scope screen. So our coils are getting power and ground, and the coil is getting controlled. So now, are we getting any fuel to the injectors? Because although we have one cylinder that's a little bit low on compression, this engine should still start. It should start and misfire, because one dead cylinder would not prevent the engine from starting. Okay, so I'm connected to the control wire of the coil right now. Where's the fuel line? I think it's this one. This must be our fuel line here. This might be the fuel line. Okay, let me check on the other side. This is a little T over here. So this line over here supplies fuel to the injectors on the driver's side, and then this one supplies fuel to the injectors on the passenger side. I'm gonna get a wrench. I'm gonna crack this line. We're gonna crank the engine to see if there's fuel in the fuel rail. We should have fuel leaking out of this. Oh, there's some fuel. It doesn't smell good.
It smells like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. Did someone put the wrong type of gas in here?
Almost smells like barbecue now. That's weird. That's the...
Yeah. So the gas that came out of this smells really bad. It smells like alcohol. Now this has been sitting. So, all right, so we cracked this. I'm gonna move away a little bit. Crank it. Let's see. Watch out. Move a little bit away from it. Okay, turn it off. We have fuel pressure. Oh, that's good, you're good. Yeah, so if we have, we have fuel. Do we have spark? The coil control is there. We should have spark. Then this thing should start. Do we have a throttle body that's stuck? Because we can have a throttle body that's stuck closed and not allowing air to go into the intake. One more time. Mm-hmm. It sounds weird. It sounds weird. Okay, I might have to remove the coil and then see if we have spark. Okay, let me disconnect the first. Let me see if I can remove the first coil. Okay, let me pull this cover out. Okay, there is the first coil on the passenger side. So I believe this should be bank 1. So let me pull this guy out. Okay. So you see how we have a black wire and a light blue and green. If you look over here, Matt, we have the same one, light blue and then black, but the third wire looks different. So the wire that's different is the control wire of the coil. So the control wire of the coil is going to be this one here. So now I am going to remove the coil, and then I'm going to use a spark tester to see if this coil is producing a spark. I'm going to grab a spark tester. I'll be right back. I'm going to remove this coil here. Let's remove the first coil on the passenger side. This over here should be bank 1. Let's remove this coil. You know, the way this engine sounds, the timing could be off on this one too. Because the other thing I didn't think about is timing, because if it's jumped, because you can have fuel and spark, but if your fuel and spark is happening at the wrong time, the engine is not going to start. We might have to bring out the big guns for this, to test this. I want to finish this today because I want to be done with this. Right, Matt? We want to finish this, right? Yeah?
I don't know.
Are you tired already?
I am.
All right, so let's pull this coil out. So here comes the coil. It looks pretty good. So I'm gonna connect my spark tester to the coil, just like that. And then I'm gonna reconnect the electrical connector of the coil to this. And then we're gonna ground our spark tester right here. So let's see if there will be a spark coming out of this. So there's spark, there's fuel. Why isn't it starting? Now, it may not start if the spark is occurring at the wrong time. If the timing chain jumped completely, if the timing chain jumped, this could be happening. Although it sounds funny, you know, the engine cadence is not consistent, so we could have, you know, a cylinder that's low on compression, but if you only have one cylinder that's low on compression, the engine is going to start, it's going to misfire, but the engine should still start. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring out my ATS lab scope. I'm going to get a pressure transducer. We're going to go into the spark plug hole. I'm going to remove the spark plug. We're going to put a pressure transducer where the spark plug goes, so we can do an in-cylinder pressure test. We can also watch when the coil turns on to see if the coil is turning on at the right time. Actually, it's Matt's favorite scope, right? Is that your favorite scope, Matt? Matt loves that scope. I'm gonna get it and then I'll be right back. I have my pressure transducer here. I made this adapter a couple of days ago. We were working on a Range Rover here, and I don't have the right adapter from ATS yet. I'm waiting for the right one. So yeah, for the time being, this is getting the job done. So that's what we're gonna use. I'm going to remove the spark plug. That gets the job done, Matt. And the thing is, if you just use a regular hose, sometimes some of the regular hoses collapse on the inside. And if it collapses inside, then that's gonna skew your test results. So you gotta make sure you get the right stuff, the appropriate stuff. Here's the plug, let's look at it. It looks like it's not burning. Let me smell it. Smells very bad. Matt, smell it.
It smells like barbecue.
Yeah, it smells like barbecue. Matt, are you hungry? Oh my goodness. This guy loves to eat. It's like,
You called me fat?
it smells like barbecue. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna screw this in the spark plug hole, just like that. And then I'm gonna connect my wire here to the pressure transducer. We're going to connect our coil. So our coil still has to be connected. We're gonna connect a spark tester here, and then we're gonna ground it. We're gonna connect our ground here. This is gonna go right there. And then we're going to back probe the control wire. So this one here. There, perfect. Okay, So now let's see what we got here. So we're gonna use the first two channels. We're gonna go to mirror. Okay, we're gonna do our deep record. Let's see. Everything looks good. We're grounded here. Okay, crank it, Steve. Okay, turn it off. No, this doesn't look good here. Let me grab our zoom window here. Oh yeah, the valve opening on this thing does not look good at all. Crank it again. Okay. Yeah, this is a timing issue. Yeah. This doesn't look good, Steve.
Yeah.
Timing problem.
Sounds like a Land Rover.
Yeah. So, if we go to process data, turn all of these. Let me retake this capture. Don't change. Can you crank it one more time, Steve? Okay. The exhaust, so right here, the exhaust valve is opening at the wrong time. So it should have opened around here. See this? This is the opening of the exhaust valve. See the exhaust stroke?
Yep.
See, it's opening at the wrong time. It should have opened around this area. Actually, we did take a screenshot on the other Range Rover I was working on the other day.
Good.
That one. So let me see. Look at it, should be over here. You see the difference. There's a screenshot over here.
Oh yeah, that's firing way late.
Yeah, you see over here, but yeah, look at this one right here.
It's firing right at top dead center.
Yeah, and even look at where the ignition trigger is. So the control. So you see this little square wave? That's the coil turning on. Now let's see what we have on our lab scope. It's kind of right here.
Yeah.
It should be over here because it's firing late. See? So this, yeah. So this should be somewhere. See, the ignition event should be occurring somewhere here. So it's firing slightly later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That'll keep it from starting.
yeah, that'll keep it from starting. So the yeah, I believe the timing chain might have jumped on this one. Yeah, because you can see, yeah, this is definitely late right here. This is why I love this scope, Matt. Matt, you love this scope? It's pretty good, right? Yeah, so yeah, right here. So exhaust valve is opening too late. I think there's a way we can, if I put some cursors here, let's see. So right here, it's opening about 21, so I'm looking at this number over here. 20 degrees, 20.1 degrees late.
That's really late.
Yeah, it is late.
It's okay to be 20 degrees advanced. It's not okay to be 20 degrees late.
Yeah, but the thing is, even when it's advanced, if it's advanced too much, you might have some pinging.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, timing. Yeah, so that's why we have spark, we have fuel, but it's not starting.
Yep.
So the ignition event is not happening at the right time. It should be happening somewhere up here, but it's happening around this area. So yeah, so even the intake, this is not supposed to look like this. Actually, let me look at the other. Yeah, you see?
Oh yeah, it's way below.
You see the difference over here? Yeah, because we have to go down as the intake, as both valves on the cylinder close, and then the piston starts to pull down towards the bottom dead center.
Yep.
It goes into a vacuum.
Yep.
So the vacuum is
Until
what,
the
until the valve opens.
Okay, yeah.
So this is what creates that vacuum. But on the scope on this one, we don't have this. See, it's not there. Okay, look at this picture. Look at the picture right here. Look at this versus what we have here.
Yeah.
You see the difference, right?
Much different.
Yeah. Okay. So timing problem, jumped timing. So it's not starting because it's firing at the wrong time. And this is an interference engine.
So if it did start, it was gonna
Yeah.
catastrophic.
Yeah. So I mean, would I even try to go in there and try to reset the timing on this one? I don't think so.
Not with 100,000 miles.
Yeah, it almost has 100,000 miles, so he might as well just change the engine or change the whole car. I mean, we can change the engine, that's no problem. And if the customer wants us to go in there and retime it and figure out what happened, yeah, we can do it. I mean, no big deal, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is definitely a timing issue. Yeah, the valves, you know, the valves are definitely opening and closing at the wrong time. Okay, so that's it. We're done with our diagnosis. There's no other thing we can do. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Thank you for helping. Yeah. Thanks for cranking this for me. Thank you for your help, Steve. Yeah, this is data-driven diagnosis. When you diagnose stuff this way, you're accurate. You're not guessing.
Every time, yeah.
We know when we tell the customer what we find, we're not guessing. We're 100% sure that this is what it is. So that's why one cylinder was low than the others, because, yeah, so this over here tells us exactly what's going on. Pretty cool, right?
That is awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave this right over here. For whatever reason, when I scanned this car earlier, it would not read the VIN.
I couldn't either.
You couldn't read the VIN?
Nope.
I don't know. I might have to ask the customer about that. And again, that's not gonna prevent it from starting, no. But something is going on with this car. I don't know. Matt was saying, you think the car is stolen? I was like,
that's what I thought.
I don't know.
First.
He told me, the customer told me that he got the car from the auction.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not a stolen car.
Yeah, Pro Demand wouldn't read the...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The VIN won't come up?
I checked the Carfax to see if it was stolen. There's nothing in the Carfax saying it was stolen.
So, really?
Yeah,
interesting.
But it's not reading any...
It's not, you can't read the VIN? I wanted to try the Autel scan tool to see if it's going to read it. Yeah, I might do that off camera. I'm going to connect the Autel scan tool to see if it reads it. If it does, I'll bring you guys back up so I can show you. If it doesn't, I won't show you. So if I don't show you the Autel scan tool part as I scan this, that means it didn't read. Okay, so that's it. We're going to leave this right over here. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was a quick and straightforward one. I'm going to let the customer know, and then he's going to decide. So 2 things we have to do here. Either we have to remove the timing cover, check the chains and the phasers, the tensioners, and retime it, or change the whole engine altogether.
Are the chains at the back or the front?
The front. They're right here. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the same engine as this Range Rover. Actually, this Range Rover, Kyler and I were actually filming this yesterday. And yeah, same thing. This is that guy.
Sounds like a...
Yeah, another Land Rover. That one has a misfiring very badly. You guys will see the video very soon. So the customer is gonna decide which route he's gonna go. At this point, we have to tear this down. Why don't you go in the comment section, leave us a comment. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're a subscriber coming back to watch this, I appreciate you. Again, whatever you think we should have done, let us know in the comment section. Thanks for being here. Cameraman Matt, thanks for being behind the camera. Steve, once again, thanks for your help. See you guys next time. I'm gonna give you an update on the Range Rover that we were working on outside. The customer decided not to fix the vehicle. He said he's going to get rid of it. I told the customer, based on the test results that we got, the solution was either changing the engine or redoing the timing. So changing the chains, tensioners, and guides, and then seeing what was going to happen. Because that engine is an interference engine, which means if the timing is off, the valves could get bent, and that can cause more issues. So I told the customer, even if we replace the chains, you might still have to deal with misfire issues if the valves are bent. So the customer looked at the cost of engine replacement and potentially changing the chains. He said, Dio, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna get rid of it as is. So that's where we stopped. I wanted to give you guys an update. I hope you like the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumb down. But if you give us a thumb down, let us know why. If you're a subscriber coming back to watch this, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your support. See you guys next time.